G'day folks. Well, it's been, 3-4 weeks since I last put a video up. Lots going on in my personal life. I've been really struggling emotionally and it's just been tough, guys. I don't know if all of you know, but my wife has multiple sclerosis. She was diagnosed around 7 or 8 years ago and she has a progressive form of it. There's a lot of different sort of variations of MS, but unfortunately my wife's got a fairly aggressive version of it, and she's just recently had a flare, and it's sort of, it was horrible, it really was. So it sort of threw me really emotionally. It did this time round. I sort of struggled emotionally. So yeah, I just basically had to be there for her pretty much. Oh well, it's tough. It really is, guys. It's really bloody tough. I took a job on I probably shouldn't have done. And yeah, anyway, thankfully the wife's on the improve. So, and it's you know, it's been bloody hard, guys. It really has. It's, you know, I don't sort of talk too much about my personal life on the channel. It's all about the car and that. But sometimes you guys, well, I've got to let you know what's going on. You know, I can't sort of, I feel I owe it to you to a point. And emotionally side of it, it's been really tough on me. So yeah, we're just taking it one day at a time at the moment, and I don't know. This has been the best thing, guys, for me doing this car. It really has helped me shift my. It's a bit of a side sort of what do they call that? There's a word for it. I've forgotten it. Sorry. Distraction. And it's been a good distraction because, to be honest, I don't know how I would go handling it if it wasn't for things, especially this thing. It's been really good to sort of just take my focus away for 5 minutes when I'm over here. I know that I've got huge responsibilities when I leave this sort of area back into the house, but it's my little escape, and yeah, it's a bit of my therapy, and it really helps. So, and the channel was, I never intended to do these videos, guys, and sort of keep going on with it. It was more or less to show the rear mount and what I'd sort of done and a few random videos, but yeah, it sort of evolved on me, and I've enjoyed the journey with it and showing you guys what I've been doing to this car and how sort of my ideas play out on it. And there's not many fails on it, and this is the reason why I'm still going with it, because it's been an incredible journey for me and I've learned so much. But anyway, I want to thank you guys about that. I put a post up, so thanks guys in the comments. They were really heartfelt, and it really sort of helped me along the way, because sometimes when you're in this social media thing, if you go quiet, all of a sudden it's like everyone disappears. But then I've had a few guys message me, ring me up, we've talked, that follow my channel. You guys know who you are. Look, you've really helped me, because life throws these curveballs at us, and it's tough at times. It really is tough. So, well, I've done the intercooler, guys. So that's sort of finished. That's the only sort of thing I've done in the last 3 to 4 weeks. But I'm doing something else as well. But I'm not going to give that away just yet. But I'll show you the intercooler. I think it came up really well, and I think it's going to work really well. I'm very, very wrapped with it, guys. I do plan down the track in going up in boost and all the rest of it. And I'm a huge believer back going with this intercooler, guys. I know the E85 fuel's incredible, and I know that last time I went out I did have knock, but it was contaminated with oil. But look, at the end of the day, guys, I want this car to be incredibly functional in all conditions and environments. For example, a 30-degree day plus down at the track. Last thing I want to be worried about is intake temperature. Even though I know the E85 fuel is an incredible coolant, but this sort of helps, guys. It's not going to hurt anything. And that's one thing I really want to achieve with this car, is the ultimate reliability in all conditions. Because I know circuit racing, guys, is completely different to driving it on the street and a quick squirt down the quarter mile. We've got a huge scoop that I've made up underneath. I've actually extended it underneath, and this was the pipe that originally routed to the turbo box in the side there. Well, now I've got it running in underneath a plenum area of the intercooler, getting forced through to the top on the plenum on top, and then getting forced back down through the turbo box. I've opened up a lot more area down where it exits under the floor, and I had a bloke, the local plumber, mentioned, we got talking about it, and mentioned that I could sort of set up something like a Venturi effect underneath, so we get a bit of suction as well, so improve the efficiency of it. So that's something I may consider down the track once I do some more testing with it. I had another guy comment too, guys. He said I could run a thermo fan box, so at low speed, or even if I'm sitting there idling, I could have a bit of airflow running through it. And that's something I may consider too. But first I want to test it and see how that sort of pans out. But geez, I'm happy with it. I did it out of Corflute, guys. So it's plastic, but it's like real estate signboard. It's very light. I've coated the inside of that top plenum with a heat-proof paint. I've put about 20, oh no, probably not 20 coats, but I reckon about 10 coats. I used up a full can on it. So we're getting a little bit of protection from the heat. But I have done testing on this Corflute 150 degrees Celsius before it starts to deform. Now that I've got the paint on the inside, or the heat shield protection, I'm not too concerned about it now. So I think that's sort of killing two birds with the one stone, guys. Running the ducted air in through the box to cool the intercooler down, or to cool the charge air down, and then once it's second-hand heat left out, blows back down through the turbo, so it keeps that some air movement through that as well. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I love it, guys. I really do. I don't know if this will show up underneath. Hearing a bit of rain now, which is nice. I'm not sure if you can see that, guys. There we go. I extended it to the left. There's an extra section there, so I've made it a little bit bigger. And hopefully, I have tested it with that blower over there, that yellow blower in the distance there. I have sort of pointed it up towards it, and gee, I couldn't believe the amount of airflow that I was getting through the top of the lid of the turbo box. It was unreal, and that was only just sitting there with a bit of air blowing through it. So, yes. I'm doing something else, guys, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do just yet. All I'm going to do is just set this up. This is a bit of stainless. I think it's inch and a half. That's all I'm going to say for the minute. See if you guys can guess what I'm up to. But I think it needs it, and I think it's going to work really well. I'm a big believer in it. So we'll leave it at there. I've got something else to show you too, guys. I'll show you. Well, there you go. This is a I think it's a VY SS Holden utility. And guess what it's got in it, guys? as far as I'm aware, I've done a little bit of research on it. It's a 6-speed manual. Actually, this is my son, guys. He swapped this for his yellow Hilux. Oh dear. It's a 5.7 LS1, and I think it's a Gen 3. This is the aluminum block version. So, interesting. I've done a little bit of research on it, and it comes out with 315 horsepower in standard trim, as is. So, he loves it. He absolutely loves it. The young fella. It's not his daily. It's only it's his little project. He wants to do a few things to it. He wants to put a new front plastic bumper bar on it, or front sort of nose cone, I think you'd call it. I don't know. The front plastic bit. He wants to replace that and do a few other little things. He wants to put some other wheels on it. But he loves it. Absolutely loves it. So, there's an LS1 sneaking its way into the shed. Maybe it's not a bad thing, guys. I know one thing, if I run into trouble with reliability, it'll only make sense to go LS. So, yeah, they're slowly inching their way in here. Alright, guys. Alright, we're not far away, guys, from taking it to the dyno. Like I said, I've got this other little job to do to it, and I want to give it an oil change, just a few little things. So once I finish this little job I'm on, and then hopefully this week, I can book it in for the next week or two, and we can do some tuning on it. I'm still doing the deck cans. I don't know if you've ever heard that, guys. I did it in another video where you can actually hear for knock, but it's old school way of doing it, and I'm going to make one of them up, and I'll show you that too. Alright guys, I'll pop one up soon. I'm feeling a bit better now, so the videos will start coming in the next... I think I'll do them every, say, 3 to 4 days a video, and that'll be just nice for now. Alright guys, I'll catch you later.